The Lamb's hand reached out. He held the seventh seal. It was the final one. The anticipation was palpable. With a swift movement, he broke the seal. Silence, a profound, deafening silence. It enveloped the heavens. All eyes turned to the Lamb. For half an hour, the silence stretched on. It was an eternity. Angels held their breath. Saints bowed their heads. This was the calm before the storm. From the heart of heaven, 7 angels emerged. They were majestic beings. Their presence radiated power. Each angel received a trumpet. These were no ordinary trumpets. They gleamed with a celestial light. The fate of the world rested in their sound. The angels stood ready. They awaited their orders. The tension in the air was thick. Judgment was about to be unleashed. Another angel stepped forward. He held a golden censer. It shimmered under the heavenly light, the air filled with the scent of incense. This was no ordinary incense. It was the prayers of the saints. They rose to heaven like a sweet aroma. The angel approached the altar of God. He knelt before it. His reverence was absolute. He was about to unleash God's wrath. The angel lifted the golden censer. He cast it down to the earth. The incense scattered. Fire erupted. It shot down from heaven. The earth trembled, the sky crackled with power. The prayers of the saints had been answered, but not with mercy. With judgment, the trumpets were about to sound. Section 5. The first trumpet, blood and fire, rained down. The first angel raised his trumpet. He blew a mighty blast. A sound like thunder echoed through the heavens. Hail and fire rained down on the earth. But this was no ordinary storm. The hail and fire were mixed with blood. A third of the earth was consumed. Trees were incinerated. Grass withered and died. Blood stained the land crimson. God's judgment had begun. Section 6. The second trumpet. The sea turns to blood. The second angel took his turn. He put the trumpet to his lips. A mournful sound filled the air. A great mountain, burning with fire, was cast into the sea. The water hissed and boiled, the air filled with steam, the sea turned to blood. A third of all sea life died. Ships were tossed about like toys. The once blue ocean was now a crimson sea of death. Section 7, the third trumpet, wormwood's poison. The third angel stepped forward. He raised his trumpet high. The sound that emerged was piercing. A great star fell from heaven. It blazed like a torch. Its name was Wormwood. Wormwood crashed into the rivers and fountains of water. The waters turned bitter. Many people died from the poison. The very sources of life had become instruments of death. Section 8, the fourth trumpet. Darkness descends. The fourth angel prepared to sound his trumpet. The heavens seemed to hold their breath. The angel blew a long, drawn-out note. Darkness covered a third of the sun. A third of the moon was also darkened. A third of the stars went out. Daylight was dimmer. Night was darker. Fear gripped the hearts of men. The world was shrouded in a chilling twilight. Section 9. A cry of woe, the coming judgments. An angel flew through the midst of heaven. His voice was filled with urgency. He carried a dire warning. Woe, 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 he cried, to those who dwell on the earth. His voice echoed through the heavens. 3 trumpets remained. Their sounds would bring even greater devastation. The worst was yet to come. The angel's cry was a harbinger of doom. Section 10. Echoes of terror. The angel's cry faded into the silence, but its message lingered. A sense of dread settled over heaven and earth. The first 4 trumpets had unleashed unimaginable destruction. What horrors awaited with the remaining 3? The world held its breath. It braced itself for the next wave of God's wrath. The silence was deafening, more terrifying than the trumpets themselves.